Hi, my name is Jackie Glazer from Jag Coaching Inc. and I want to welcome you to my free webinar. I had a long, painful journey with dating and it ended in finding my soulmate. So I want to help you not feel more pain or loneliness or waste any more time, as I really know how it feels. We are going to be talking about 3 secret strategies to becoming unblocked with regards to your dating. So stay around till the end for a special offer that will last a limited time. You are in the right place if you have tried coaching, if you have tried other self-help books and dating books, if you have tried therapy but you're still exhausted by dating and things haven't shifted. You're in the right place if you don't get dates that are in your ballpark, or if you don't trust your decision making when it comes to dating, if you don't have clarity about what you're really looking for, or deep down you don't feel worthy of an amazing guy. If you found yourself nodding along to any of these, I'm so glad that you're here. And all these things will just keep you stuck in this dating rut. So I'm so excited to share some of my insights and strategies with you so that you can get unstuck. So firstly, who am I? Let me introduce myself. I'm Jackie, Canadian born, Australian raised, lived in Israel and New York, and now I'm in Los Angeles where I live with my soulmate Aaron and his 2 daughters Penina and Batsheva, as well as Neo, our beautiful chocolate lab. I'm a connector and builder. I'm a psychologist. I was the former psychologist on the Australian Today show. I'm a Virgo. I love the beach, music, and seeing people like you succeed. I was single for many, many years, and I went through feeling like maybe I was being punished, maybe there was something wrong with me, and just fighting that reality that I hadn't wanted or chosen, which was to be single for that long. I remember not being able to trust the process. I felt betrayed and miserable until I had an epiphany and everything changed. I knew I wanted to share my life with someone and have a family and be happy. So why shouldn't I start now? I did a deep dive inside myself and questioned where all this doubt and betrayal and hurt was coming from, and realized the most incredible thing. I was judging myself for being single and blaming it on God. I felt like a failure, an unworthy person because I was single and I couldn't do anything about it. And this became a self-fulfilling prophecy on some level. On some level, without me realizing it, I wasn't open, which I didn't realize at the time. And the biggest aha moment for me was when I truly, deeply made a decision to not do that anymore, and that I would accept myself as I am. I am good enough regardless, and I would make the best of it. What happened next was absolutely astounding and miraculous. As soon as I made this shift internally, in a very real way, you can't fake it, the next day, my husband was suggested to me. And this opened my eyes to the miraculous power of this work. It's not a magic bullet, it's not a quick fix, but you cannot deny the power of that inner work, and I feel it's the least work that singles do. You go to singles events, you do all the other effort that you put in, but often this deeper work at the subconscious level is not really attended to. Because why? Because deep down we judge ourselves and we feel there's something really wrong with me. I can't acknowledge that I might have an issue or I might have a problem, because that means I'm at fault. I'm going to blame myself. I'm going to judge myself. And that is what keeps us stuck, is that self-blame and self-judgment. So I'm here to introduce you to a new way of relating to yourself. Once we own our inner world and that we can actually make a difference and a change, our whole external world changes. The Talmud says we don't see things the way they are, we see things the way we are. And so if you shift how we are, of course, it's going to change the external world. And I want to save you so much more time than it took me to realize these things. The 3 other major blocks that come across my path the most are despair, which we talked a little bit about. Despair and giving up. Giving up hope that it's ever going to happen blocks you much more than you could imagine. And so I know it's a defense to give up, because it just stops you from hoping and then being hopeless, but you have to get back in the game. And that's what my course gives you. Number 2 is being nonchalant, shut down, right? Yeah, if it happens, great. If not, whatever, I'm good. That's really just a type of shutdown, and it's usually because you're scared of getting hurt or you're scared of getting rejected or failing. And that shutdown also keeps you blocked. So you want to be able to open up again, get in touch with your vulnerability. And the 3rd one, which is really common, is that women are too desperate. They don't feel worthy deep down without marriage. And so they come across too desperately, like, I need this in order to feel okay inside. And that is the biggest turnoff for men, right? A man is attracted to a woman who's confident, secure, and knows her worth. So we have to be able to change that. There's 6 things you need in order to be able to get married. And over again, my clients that come to me don't have at least one or two or three of these 6 things. The 6 things are hope. Without hope, you're not even in the game. You're just smashing and dashing your dreams to get married. You're not even open to the possibility of getting married. And so you've got to have hope. And it's amazing how many women lose hope. And then they close down, they despair, and that becomes really one of their biggest blocks. Number 2 is clarity. You have to have clarity. If you don't have clarity what you're looking for, how on earth are you going to recognize it? So the first step we work on is actually getting clear. What do I want? What is right for me? It's amazing how many people don't know that. They don't know necessarily. They think of lots of good ideas, but they don't know, is it really what I need? And we help you get clarity. Number 3, confidence. Do you have confidence navigating the dating system? Do you know how to get out there and where to find quality people, who to ask, who to go to? That's another thing that you must have, is this confidence in the dating world. Number 4 is self-worth. This is probably the biggest one that I see across the board with women, where they don't feel deep down worthy of an amazing guy, and therefore they're not attracting amazing men. So either they're having no date suggestions come in because deep down they don't feel worthy, or they're attracting unavailable guys, or guys that aren't really present, aren't really there for them, not treating them with respect. And as you increase your own ability to value yourself and your own self-worth, you will attract people that treat you that way. It also goes for friendships as well, but particularly with romantic relationships. And so if you want to attract high quality suggestions for you to date, then you must work on your self-worth. And that is something that I can actually teach you. There's a lot of talk about self-worth out there, but there's not a lot of showing you, how do I tap into my self-worth? How do I experience it? And that's what I want to teach you. I want to give you practical tools that will actually teach you how to feel that, because you're already worthy. Number 5 is inner peace. Inner peace is a lack of anxiety, a lack of stress, just being able to be calm and at home in your skin, and being able to show up present, open, available on a date. Sounds easy, it's not easy to do. So many people can't date like that. They're anxious, they're nervous, they're worried about what they're thinking about them. They're worried if they're gonna like me, they're worried if they're judging. There's so much worry, there's so much stress, there's so much anxiety. I can teach you how to calm that down so that you can show up from your best self. And the last one is super important, self-trust. If you can't trust your decision making, if you can't trust your ability to know what's right for you, how can you possibly make the biggest decision of your life? And lack of self-trust is probably one of the biggest issues that I deal with women across the board also. They don't trust their decision making. They're calling all their friends and their family to say, what do you think? Do you think I should go out with? No one else can tell you who to marry, and no one else can tell you who not to marry. It has to be your decision, and it is probably the biggest decision of your life. So one of the things you need to learn is, how do I tune into myself? How do I trust myself? And that I can teach you. As you'll start to notice, these aren't 6 things that are only pertinent to dating. These are really about being your best self across the board, and being able to trust any decision you make, to be able to feel happy in yourself in general, because that is the most attractive thing. And so these 6 things that you'll walk away from my course with are really for life, and they will completely change the quality of your existence. So the reason you don't have these 6 things is often due to wounds and subconscious blocks. What is the subconscious block? Sounds like a lot of psychobabble. The subconscious is a part of the brain that we are not aware of. So there is a part of the brain, I call it like the back filing cabinet, where when you go through life, especially as a kid, and you have experiences, pleasant and unpleasant, you store up these experiences in this back filing cabinet because it might be too much for you to handle as a kid. When you're little, feelings are overwhelming. And so what we do, it's an amazing survival strategy, is we store experiences in our subconscious, like a filing cabinet. And then we create belief systems out of those subconscious experiences. So let's say I have a critical parent, and that critical parent tells me always I have to improve and how to improve. I could then deduce a belief system that I'm never good enough, because every time I do something, a parent is telling me that you could do better. Now, that parent might love you and just want you to improve, but as a child, I might interpret it as, no matter what I do, I'm not good enough. And then that becomes an actual reality for you, because you really believe you're not good enough. And so that's a disaster in dating, because whenever you have a quality person, you're going to feel deep down emotionally, I'm not good enough, because that's how I always felt as a kid. And we project that reality into our current world without even realizing it happens automatically. And we search for experiences that match our experience internally. We call that the reticular activating system. It's like a radar that scans your current life and your current world for things that match with your belief system. And if that belief system is limiting, so you can imagine that this is a problem. Another really common wound that people have stored up in the subconscious, fear of rejection. So in order to not feel that feeling of rejection that I maybe felt as a kid, and I don't want to feel it again, so I'm going to go on a date really protected and guarded because I don't want to feel that rejection. And because of that, my date is not going to be able to connect with me because I'm going to have a wall up and everything's going to be great. I'm going to be perfect and everything's wonderful. And then he's going to go away and say, you know, really nice lady, just didn't feel a connection. And guess what he's going to do? He's going to reject you. And then you say, see, I'm always rejected. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This, in my humble opinion, is far more of a problem with the dating than anything else people are doing. And the biggest problem is that you don't realize you're doing it because it's sitting in the subconscious. And so what I'm going to teach you is how to become aware of your subconscious patterns by going through the body and the feeling. How do you feel when you go on a date? What's going on in your body? That is your subconscious's way of communicating with you. And when you know how to relate to yourself that way, so then you're in a position to change that, to reassure it, to calm it down. And you can radically change and transform who you are when you go on a date. And this is why the area of the subconscious is why therapy, other coaches, personal development books haven't worked for you completely this far in shifting this. Because you have a lot of insight, a lot of conscious knowledge, but it doesn't help you connect with the subconscious level. And so most of my clients come to me and say, I've done years of therapy, or I've done years of coaching, or I've done years of reading books and working on myself. I just can't change how I feel. And it's not that all of that's a waste. It was excellent. It's the first step. Insight is very important, but it's not the whole story. And that's what I want to teach you. I want to teach you how you can tap into yourself so that you can make the change that you've been yearning for so long. And what's unbelievable is that 93% of communication is nonverbal. So how you show up on a date and how you feel subconsciously will be communicated, even if you're smiling and saying all the right things. And that's where I think a lot of singles get stuck, is that they're saying all the right things, they're doing all the right things, and what other people who are helping them are not seeing is how they're showing up on a date. What is the feeling they're giving off? And that's what I want to help you change. So let me tell you about the course. The course is a 9-week program that I have designed because I realized there was very little out there that addressed spirituality and the psychology and emotional levels. And I really want to give you an increased SQ, spiritual quotient, spiritual intelligence, and EQ, emotional quotient or emotional intelligence. This course is designed with multi-layers of support, including online modules. There's 8 modules online you'll have lifetime access to, with all the different topics and the exercises and PDFs. There's group calls. There's 8 group calls, which everyone says to me at first, I'm not a group person, I don't like groups. And I say, don't worry, it's not group therapy, it's group coaching. So we're applying the tools. We're not going around the room talking about all your problems. In fact, going through the details of everyone's stories is actually a waste of time because it doesn't help you change. So I'm very focused on results and helping you get the results you need out of it. And the group calls are so powerful. You get to see me live coach someone in front of you applying those tools. And you're like, oh, that's how she does it. And they're also incredibly powerful because you hear other people's questions that you really have yourself, and everyone's dealing with the same stuff. So you learn a lot from the group, much more than if you just had one-on-one. However, we also throw in individual one-to-one mindset sessions with myself and my team of coaches, which are amazing. And they actually zone in like surgery and deal with whatever the roots are at the subconscious level. And finally, if you have any private questions or you want to process anything with me personally, you actually get access to me for the whole 9 weeks privately on voice notes and text, where you can ask me any private questions, either about the tools or about actual practical dating situations that are coming up. It's also to trust your decision making. When I'm dating someone, how do I listen and tune in to my head, my heart, and my gut? Because all 3 need to be aligned when you're making such a big decision. And how do I date from my higher self? I don't want to date from my lower self that's scared. I want to date from my higher self, from my soul, or from the place that has access to that higher wisdom. In the course, we also cover masculine, feminine, how to date from the empowered feminine, and of course, how to build my sense of trust and prayer, which is really the antidote to despair. I am so confident in the power of this work because of what I've seen that I am going to give you a money-back guarantee that you will walk away with a profound shift in these 6 areas of hope, clarity, self-worth, self-trust, confidence, and inner peace. Most of my clients come out and say this was absolutely life-changing, and I wish I'd done it earlier. So I want to offer you a special offer to sign up in the next 3 days for a discovery call so that we can see if it's the right fit for you. I'm not saying this lightly when I say it will change your life, but don't take it from me. Take it from my clients. Are you ready to experience this as well? There's no reason whatsoever that you can't have these changes for yourself and just be an overall happy person, because how you do one thing is how you do anything. And if you're having problems with dating, it's more likely that you're having issues with yourself and how you're relating to yourself. So book a discovery call today for 10% off within the next 3 days to see if it's the right fit for you, and make sure to check your email for the special offer. I'm so looking forward to making it happen.